number one myth about sales is that you have to be a great salesperson. That's not true at all. If you have an irresistible offer, your products and services will almost sell themselves. And we're gonna show you how to make that happen today. Hi, I'm Craig Ballantyne from Early Rise Radio, here with Galel Fajardo, one of our coaches, and we are gonna talk about selling.
All right, Craig, when you say that an offer should sell itself, what does that mean? Like, what separates an average offer from an irresistible offer?
When people think of the salesman, they think of this person has the skill set to sell like ice cream to Eskimos. Something that someone doesn't need. An offer means, and a salesperson is that they're going to take this thing and force it on someone. But that's not what an irresistible offer is. An irresistible offer just sounds so good. If I describe to you, like, yeah, you can go downstairs and you can go to this place and they'll serve you a hot coffee, and they'll put these like flavors in it and stuff, and it's really, really good. And if you're really tired and you just woke up and you've got a long day ahead of you, you're going to go, I need that.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much it costs, and I'm going to go and get it. That's an irresistible offer. I didn't say like, I didn't promise you any benefits. I just said, here's what the thing is. So that's the irresistible offer in like kind of a silly little story. So when we find entrepreneurs who are struggling, the way that they're describing what they have for somebody, whether it is a pillow or whether it's a coaching program or whether it's financial services or whether it's some type of construction equipment or even service and construction, they spend a lot of time talking about like, here's the size of the widget that you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're looking for. I didn't say like it's a white cup.
Right.
You get a white cup and then there's like other things so it doesn't make your hand burn. But that would actually be a benefit. So now I was getting into the benefits. But most people are too focused on the features. Like you get 12 videos.
Right.
You get, it's 90 days of where we show up on a call. And most of that stuff unsells people. I tell most salespeople that the more you talk, the more likely you are to unsell somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what you want to do as a salesperson is get people to understand the value of your offer and talk themselves into buying it.
Yeah.
So that's another part of the process that gets a little bit away from the irresistible offer. But the irresistible offer is something that somebody wants. It's so darn good that they almost aren't going to even ask what the price is.
So you started touching on this a little bit, but I think this is really important because I've seen it with clients that we've worked with in our coaching program where they are focused so much on features, right? You get this, you get this, you get this, versus you're going to feel this way, right? Mm-hmm. Like nobody wants to, like a custom workout program. I don't know about you. I don't want a custom workout program, but what I do want to do is feel confident when I take my shirt off in the summertime,
sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so why is it that so many entrepreneurs struggle when making offers? Like, is it that they focus so much on the features part of it? Are they too into the weeds?
Yeah, so everybody has heard the term imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And imposter syndrome is like, who am I to go and sell this thing or do this thing? But there's actually something that hinders and handicaps a lot of offers, and I call it expert syndrome.
Yeah.
So if you were a personal trainer and you offered customized workouts, mm-hmm. to you as a personal trainer, you're like, customized workouts with like this type of equipment and uses this technique, this hypertrophy technique and this time under, like the end user does not care about those things. Again, what the end user cares about is my wife going to say, have you lost some weight when I take my shirt off?
Yeah.
That's what the end user wants. But the expert is so far removed from those days because even if they once had a problem with their body or strength or physical health, now they're 5, 10, 15 years into their journey as an expert and they think that only the bells and whistles matter. Like, here's a crazy example. So my wife, Michelle, during the pandemic hired a personal trainer for something specific. And this trainer's newsletters are about making sure that you're staring into the sun for 5 minutes a day and all of this stuff that's like, it's so advanced and a little bit kooky, right? But all Michelle was like, hey, can I get a workout that like helps me with XYZ?
Yeah.
But they want to talk about micronutrients and stuff that was just so off the radar that it didn't matter. And as we have this conversation, it reminds me a lot of a new client that we have, a guy named Josh, and he sells grass-fed beef. Mm-hmm. And grass-fed beef that is antibiotic-free, hormone-free, and it's local. Like these are some features. But those are the features that people see as benefits.
Right.
And his waiting list is huge because he has an irresistible offer of, the person hearing about these things thinks, I want great meat. I want it to be grass-fed. I want it to be hormone-free. I want it to be local because I want to support local farmers. And man, he's got this waiting list. His problem that we fixed in his business was on the operations side. But most people, unfortunately, don't have that irresistible offer fixed. They have their operations side is good, but they can't sell something because they're focusing too much on, here are the exact things, the 73 hours of sales videos that you get to watch, and it's like, oh my God, I'm not buying this thing.
Yeah.
Because it sounds more like a detriment.
That's like a part-time job.
Yeah, it sounds more like you've given me more problems than you've solved with this new thing.
So let me ask you this, Craig. Are there essential ingredients of an irresistible offer?
I think one of the most important things is the value stack. And I spend a lot of time on this with clients, and I do these $1 million offer audits that make selling so much easier.
Which is, by the way, one of the most popular trainings that you do inside of our community.
Yeah, I just absolutely love it because it comes very naturally to me. Because I've studied a lot of other things, and I bought a lot of things where people have value stacked. And to give you an example of what that is, if you ever watch any infomercials, you know that they're selling you the rotisserie oven. And the rotisserie oven is, now it's $29.99 for 6 months or something. And that's pretty good. You're like, I'm almost ready to buy. I'm going to think about this. And then they value stack and they go, and you get these recipe books worth $100. And you get, these attachments. And you're able to, now not only are you able to make a chicken, you're able to make banana bread because we have these additional modifications. And you get all of those for free. So it doesn't go from $29 a month to $49. Now it's $29.99, same price as the rotisserie oven, but I'm going to give you all this stuff for free. And now you go, oh, well, I'd be a fool not to purchase this because of the value stack. And I think this is an area that is so under leveraged for people because they are really looking at it and going, is this worth it?
Yeah.
So you're charging me $1,000 for a custom workout plan. Well, I can compare that to a $3 app. I can compare that to a magazine that I buy at the newsstand. I can compare that to all the books that are on Amazon or in the library. There's all these things. So I'm like, I don't understand. But if there's, we also do your blood work, and we provide you a free nutrition program, and we have accountability, and we have a free app that, does bonus things for you, and we have these additional tools, and we send you a protein powder every month. Oh, okay. Well, now I'm not able to compare your value stack against the $3 app. It's a totally different offer. And so you need to make sure that whatever you're selling has that value stack that increases it in the eyes of the consumer so that in their head, it's often said that people are buying based on emotion and logic. Well, this overcomes the logical side, because what I'm hearing logically is that if I give you $10, you're going to give me $500 worth of value? Man, this guy must be crazy. He must have made a mistake. He must have, or she must have made a mistake. There must be zeros missing from this price. So I better do this now. And that's one of the tools and tactics and techniques that should be added. And what I find most people do, back to the expert syndrome, is they undervalue what the client values a lot. So they might think, the expert might think, oh, I'm giving you this expert course. And they might think that like this alone, this information is worth $3,000. I went to university and college and got all these degrees, and I went to seminars and I packaged it all. I spent $100,000 to get $3,000 worth of information. I'm giving that to you. And the client's like, okay, maybe that's helpful, but would you be willing to like send me an email and motivate me and hold me accountable to doing this? Like, that's the magic value in the customer's eyes, because they have 9 other courses at home that teach them how to do better with their taxes and stuff like that. But I just need somebody to actually make me follow through on it. And they put the value really high, but the expert thinks, oh, man, nobody cares about that. And so it's that mismatch because of the expert syndrome that holds people's offers back. So what I go in is I dig through everything that they have in there and increase the value of it so that the person the other side, the customer, the prospect says, oh, that's the thing, that if you were only selling that aspect of it, I would pay full price for it.
Yeah, and it's something I think, Craig, that people as coaches, we help the most with our clients because we can be that outside set of eyes that when people when they're underestimating their current offer stack, they have us look at it and we go, actually, you have this totally flipped around. Like, how many times have we seen that with clients?
We see that a lot, and I think the most important thing is that there's just undervalued information or undervalued products that you can package in that will not cost the entrepreneur much, but will add so much value in the eyes of the consumer that they will finally go from sitting on the fence, sitting on the fence, sitting on the fence forever to jumping off the fence and running towards your offer.
Last question for you, because I could talk to you about this for hours, Craig. But how does somebody who's watching this know if their offer is actually irresistible or if it just looks good on paper?
No, that's really, really simple. So you got to take this to your audience and you got to sit down with somebody and ask them a couple of questions and then say, great, I've got something that can help you. Can I explain it to you? And then you need to explain it to them as quickly, briefly as possible, briefly but thoroughly as possible. And then watch how they respond to each of the things that you describe. And at the end, you offer them the product at the price and see how they react to that. And that will tell you. But it's very important for you to go along and as you describe something to watch how they respond to it. Because if their eyes are glazed over at the stuff that you think is very valuable, then you've got that mismatch. But when you see them perk up at something, you need to lean into that and assign it more value, and then so that when you come back in another sale, that you give it more emphasis.
So if I understand this correctly, it's testing it out with somebody in your audience then. Like, testing is going to require...
Yeah, because that's another mistake that most people make, is that they go and create a product. Whether it's a physical product, whether it is an information product, whether it's a coaching program, and they put hundreds of hours, thousands of hours into something, and they don't try and sell it first. You need to sell it first. And you can always, well, it doesn't actually exist, so I can't take your money, but you need to be able to figure out if you can sell the thing first before you go and put all the time and effort into creating it. So that is something that most people make a mistake on, which is, we go through the 101 mistakes of entrepreneurs make, and that is a big one, because if you don't prove that you can sell the thing, then you're in a lot of trouble.
Okay, I'm gonna throw, I know that was gonna be my last question. I have another question for you. How did that work with Turbulence Training? Did you?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the first thing I ever created 25 years ago was this Turbulence Training program, and I finished university, so I did a master's degree in exercise physiology, and when I was finished, I was writing for Men's Health at the same time, so I was getting a lot of feedback. But when I was done, all of my other friends graduated at the same time. And every single day I would come home I was working in a nutrition company at the time, I would come home and a friend would say, I need a workout. After about doing 20 of these workout programs, I was like, wait a minute, this seems like I should just do one and give it to everybody rather than make a new one for everybody.
Right.
And so that was just clear validation. Like, people were begging and demanding it for it. And another, an evolution of it, so eventually I sold all those workout programs and many personal trainers bought it. And I would get all these emails from personal trainers like, hey, can you make one for boot camps? And after about 400 emails, it got through my thick head that I should probably create a program for personal trainers to do this style of workout in their boot camps. So it's best that people are asking for it, but also asking for it and saying, I'm willing to pay for it. Because a lot of people say, classic story, like, oh, your banana bread is so good, you should go and sell it. And it's like maybe your mother-in-law says something, right? Well, okay, well, how much would you pay for it? I'll make you a banana bread, but you give me $10 for it. No. Well, then maybe you probably don't have a business idea. So you need to be careful, but it's the validation from the end user. And you know what? But at the end of the day, like, if you have an audience of any number of people, whether it's 10 or 10 million, just say, I'm thinking of doing this, and the price would either be 57 or 97. How much would you pay for it? And then make a little checkout page and say, okay, you guys said you'd pay 57 for it. I'm going to sell 10 of these. Let's see if anybody buys. And if the only vote that really counts is when people put in their credit card number. That's the most important thing. Until somebody has bought something from you, don't get too excited about your idea.
No, love that. Love that. Remove the emotional attachment, right? That's absolutely massive. Craig, this has been incredibly valuable. I got more sales, marketing, productivity. This discipline questions coming your way.
Awesome. So this is Craig Valentine from Early to Rise Radio with Galel Fajardo, one of our coaches, the man, the myth, the legend in marketing and automation. And so what we want you to do is we want you to post your questions about sales and marketing down below so that we can make more videos. But we also want to be able to help you as an entrepreneur to improve your offer. So if you want coaching on this, drop the word coaching down below in this video or email us at support@earlytorise.com to learn more about how we can help you make your offers irresistible.